Hey, it's Raven Tactical here. Today we're going to do the bug out bag review, one that I've been talking about. It's right here. It's a SOG bag. I don't honestly know what the model of it is. I'll try to look it up. I bought it a couple years ago when Walmart was selling some of this stuff in the stores. But I'll go over kind of what I have, maybe a little bit of reason why I have it the way it's set up. Some of it's going to be like a little surprise to me because I haven't touched it in a couple months. That's shame on me, but we'll go through it. So on the front, compass pouch, or this is probably a grenade pouch. I'm using a lensatic compass. So your standard military lensatic compass. I recommend these to everybody. I recommend it because these are the actual good quality ones. These are the ones that you're going to spend some money on. They have a little bit of tritium so that they do light up. They're very accurate, very sensitive, very good. You are going to pay roughly about $50 for one, give or take. So just a heads up on that. Now, lanyard cord so that you can strap it to yourself, or a lanyard cord so you can strap it to yourself so you don't lose it. They are somewhat expensive, so it is a little bit of an investment. Next, let's see. Next, we're gonna go kind of to an admin pouch. So on the admin pouch, I usually keep kind of stuff that you would want on the outside. Let's see if I can get the zipper open. So standard right in the rain pen, right in the rain. Doesn't work too well without a pen, the right in the rain pen, but you can use pencil with it as well. In my opinion, if you're trying to get home or you just need something to write with that works, I use the Milwaukee pens often. They write on everything. I use them a lot too for when you're doing shooting. I mean, these make it so that when you're zeroing that you can use it. Had kind of this extra multi-tool sitting around. I mean, obviously you're not going to chop down trees, but you can use the flat end for hammering small nails. It's got some quick attachments for here. Little screwdriver, a little knife, little prying tool. I kind of like it as a window breaker. I guess if you were stuck in your car or your car did roll into the water, you could use it that way. It depends where your bug out bag is. The rest of it here is just simple pens and pencils. See if you can see it. And then I'm a big component of keeping super glue. Oop, looks like this came loose. Anyways, so I'm a big component of super glue. You can use it for stitching, you can use it for cuts and wounds, you can use it for a lot of different little things. And I kind of keep it out front. Just put this back real quick. To me, the right in the rain thing is I just happen to be at the PX. A simple notebook would do. I don't think you have to spend the little extra money on it. It's kind of unnecessary. For people who don't understand the MOLLE attachments, so this is the MOLLE, and then you weave it in between. So that's just something you can see here. So there's MOLLE on here and there's MOLLE on this, and the straps are supposed to weave between the bag, your pack, the bag, the pack, the bag, and that clips in. So that way it's real nice and tight. So now we're opening up the front pouch. A pair of cheap binos. Kind of like I look at this pack, not so much as a bug out bag, but more of I'd be using this bag for getting home from maybe work or getting home from a different distance. So I got a cheap pair of binos. I believe they're 16 by 32. Good enough for observation. So, I mean, yeah, I don't foresee, mass chaos immediately happening, but let's say you did have to, you have some ability to see, you have the ability to have some optics ahead. I believe if I had to use this bag currently right now, I could use it for like a kind of a scout setup. I would be able to visually see what's going ahead. I could write down kind of a situation report and I could get it. Fair amount of paracord in here. I'm not going to pull it out. Everybody's seen paracord. Paracord, when we were doing winter survival and a lot of stuff with the military, extremely useful. Has 10,000 uses. You could even field strip it so that when you want to build your shelter, you can use the small strands for that. Standard survival blanket. These will save your life, and even in weather now. So right now the weather sometimes drops down to about 40 to 50 degrees at night. So I mean, it's cold enough that you could get hypothermia. Those will keep and trap your body heat and kind of keep it reflective if you use it as a base layer. If you are a person that needs glasses cases are important. I don't need glasses, but I carry sunglasses and maybe your safety glasses. It's vital to kind of keep them in good shape. This was a purchase from the, I'm trying to think of it, the Mormon store, their LDS store. It's a water bottle filtration system. Very cool, very neat. It's I enjoy it, and it wasn't too bad, honestly. You can drink and on the go. So I think it's kind of cool. You could fill it with, relatively clean water. I think you still have to kind of filter out some of the junk, but it still would give you pure water, kind of like a life straw, but you'd have it on the go where you don't have to sit there and suck out of a toilet bowl. Standard boonie cap. You can get these from the military anywhere. It's good if you're in a sunny environment. It keeps the sun off the back of your neck. Make sure when you're getting them, they come in various sizes. So they're like, those are military ones, so know your head size. Close this up. Trying to keep the video a little shorter than, try not to go over 10 minutes too bad. But the neat thing about this bag, it's got these section pieces into it. So you can clip it, and then it gives you a little bit more space. Let's see, I went in here. Oh, haven't gone in here. So in this one, I'm showing you standard, basically a standard Cree flashlight with the batteries pulled out. And then Gerber multi-tool. Probably the most important thing I have, and I'd say these things are way better than Swiss Army knives. They give you the ability to have a pliers, they give you the ability to have a knife on them. You can use, let's see, you can use this on your fire starter so that you get that nice grip into it and it'll light the fire. It's got screwdrivers for taking small stuff, if you're maintaining car stuff. It's got a wire clipper for cutting C-wire or cutting anything. These things save your life. I have so many different uses for it. Standard flashlight. I usually keep the batteries out so they don't get killed. So it's just a bandana. Had an extra one sitting around. Again, you can use it as a bandage. You can use it, get it wet and cool yourself off with it. There's 10,000 uses with a bandana. So in the main pouch here, I got chem lights, because I find chem lights to be useful, especially if you're going to be overnight. You can use them in your tent. You can use them to mark out your place. You can mark, if you had tent wires or tent stakes, you can use these to mark where you don't want to trip. The only problem you run with the zippers is sometimes when you have it full, they do jam up. So sometimes it takes a little bit of coaxing. There you go. So in here, I don't really want to take it completely out, but you have one of those collapsible dog dishes. You have, this is your bug spray, 2 different types of bug spray, suntan lotion, an additional life straw. So kind of have that theory of like 2 is 1, 1 is none. And here you also have a chem light, and then you have another iodine tablets with a spare lighter for starting fires. So I kind of keep everything, in series. So this is kind of water purification, and if you needed to, it's going to be kind of the first thing you're going to be able to reach into and grab it. I don't know about you, but mosquitoes are bad by us, and they can turn a single event into a miserable event, and having bug spray is crucial for me. I mean, I don't want to be caught outside without it. So this standard issue wet weather, so they call it a wet weather top, so it's just a jacket, U.S. military wet weather jacket. And you can see if it's got the MSN on it. Anyways, a couple uses for it. You can use it as a rain jacket. The jacket will keep you warm. It's loud when it's raining, but it'll keep you mostly dry. You can use it as a blanket. You can use it as a shelter. It's got a lot of various uses for it too, so make sure you enjoy that. Ooh, sorry if it was out of focus for a little bit. One of the big things that people I always see, they always forget, is underwear and socks. So keeping a couple pairs of socks rolled up in a bag like this keeps them dry. So yeah, I have 2 pairs in this pack. These are just standard USGI green socks, which are perfectly fine. But if you don't have socks, your feet are going to get damaged. And if you don't have clean feet, and at least dry feet, you're going to start hurting. Here's just a simple, little quick, like a boo-boo kind of bag. It's not a full medical bag. Looks like this came out. In it, I have pain reliever like ibuprofen. I got kind of a bug spray, not a bug spray, but a bug bite thing. A couple small band-aids, alcohol wipes, and it looks like a couple bigger bandages on the back end, and super glue. This right here, I don't know if you can see it, baby wipes is kind of, from the military side, it's your best friend. You can take a bath with it, you can wash up with it. It doesn't require, it requires maybe putting a little bit of water in here to re-wet them. You can go to the bathroom with it, and this will get you cleaner than you've ever been in your entire life. Make sure you get unscented. That way you don't smell, and it won't give you maybe an allergy reaction. Honestly, these I can't say enough. If you're going to be stuck out in the field for a very long time, these become the only thing that you got. I mean, these are your best friend. As far as food goes, I threw a totem meal, which is basically, it's a tailored down MRE. A lot of times so that they don't want soldiers having a full MRE because of the calorie count. So if you're not doing too much stressful work, they'll give you, you can get totems. So these totems are still about 1,000 calories. It just doesn't come with all the fun stuff. They're not bad. So you got a meal here. And then what I picked up also was Coast Guard rations. So there's quite a bit of meals in this as well. So you got 2,500 calories in this. They taste terrible, but they're Coast Guard rations, but they won't really go bad, so you can have them. Standard nail clipper. It's got a little bit of uses for clipping trees, or not trees, but branches yourself, pulling slivers out. So then, when we get into fire starting, this is the entire bag, primary bag for fire starting. What you see here are cotton, and the cotton can be used for your tinder. You have one method. You have camp matches, waterproof matches. You have, in this, let's see if we can open it up. Come on. So it's gonna fight with me. You are a stubborn. So this is if you needed to go full, totally tactical, full crazy. You could apply camouflage makeup. This applies to our area. So you got your white, brown, and green, and then your base gray. If you needed to, yeah, this is your camo here. Why is it in the fire side? I didn't really have a real good place for it, so it got stuck with the fire. I don't primarily see you having to do it right away. This I've used before. It's a small kind of camp stove, a small SB stove. I threw it in here because I used it for cold weather terrain. Works. It's just a little pocket stove. Obviously, it's got limited fuel, but you could probably use sticks in it to make basically hot food or a little bit of a hot chow. It's not a terrible idea. They weren't too expensive. So another way is trioxane fuel. I don't want to open it up, but it's a military version of trioxane fuel. You break off a tab, so they look like this. You break off a tab and you light it, and you have kind of a hot fuel source. Again, standard camp matches, and this is just one of those wallet-sized survival things. I might have just thrown it in here just for keeps, but it does have the serrated edge piece, which would work really well with your 6-inch fire starter. So once again, see if it works this time. So you know, redeem myself from the last one, right? So that's pretty much everything on that side of it. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Terrible. So I'm not ashamed for it, but so we're Christians for the most part, and I do carry this. I feel like it's, you know, if you did have something, it's something to keep you close by. It's a military version of it. So if you don't care for it, you know, that's fine with me. I'm not here to push you into it, but for myself, it's just kind of a comforting way of having one. I had one while I was deployed, and that one's actually pretty nice as well. This here is a much larger version of a solar blanket. I almost wonder if it was a complete tent. This you could probably make into like a sleeping bag setup. Very useful. These things will probably overheat you, and it's not intentionally to overheat you, but this will make the difference between base freezing and staying at least somewhat comfortable out there. So you have that. That's pretty much the whole pack. The pack itself weighs between about 35 and 40 pounds. I'm going to be adding a little bit more with it just for the ruck march stuff that I've been doing. This doesn't really cover anything with the weapons. Oh, I did forget. This is the one pack that's kind of interesting. So let's see if I can adjust it. It does have on the side. So standard watch cap in the U.S. military. You can get these for about $4. And then these I learned about when we were in Iraq. It's just your standard wrap. 1,001 different uses. You can wear it as, you can wet it and put it over your head to get cool. You can wear it to kind of keep smoke out of your face. You can keep dust out of your face. It's one of those things that it became a multi-use item. Always had it. On this side, I keep my gloves, and I have, when we were overseas, we did a lot of prison, kind of a, if you want to call it, almost a FEMA camp for detention ops. So these are my work gloves slash, you know, if it gets bad enough that you have to use Kevlar reinforced knuckles, it's one more element that you got. They're really strong, protects your knuckles, protects you, and it keeps you safe. I'm a big component of having gloves while you're out in the field. It protects your hands. If you slice and cut up your hands, not only is it provide like an infection sad point, but it's also going to be something that you're going to be uncomfortable and maybe you won't be able to pick something up. I got one more. Chem lights are kind of all over this pack because I believe that if you needed to, you can have a chem light on hand. Standard issue fixed blade. What I got, Gerber fixed blade. It's got some weight to it. I like the balance in it. It's long enough. It's not crazy enough. And It's got a pretty nice edge to it. It doesn't have the spine that I would say for starting fires that maybe you would want. I can try it really quick. Let's see. Let's give it a shot. It doesn't have the big flat spine, but there you go. Kind of 90 degree it, and then you go. So, pretty interesting. I like it. It's got a good weight to it, a good balance. The blade is pretty solid. I'm a big component in having a fixed blade for kind of being out in the field. Do I think you need to every day carry a fixed blade? Absolutely not. I think you kind of look a little insane, but if more power to you if you do. The last two things are something I picked up. One is a small pry bar, right? And one is an adjustable wrench. One, if you were in a place where guns maybe weren't allowed, one, you have a wrench which can be used as a weapon. It's heavy enough. Two, you can actually use it for multitude of nuts, bolts, and things like that. I'm a mechanic, so on that side, I can see how having the ability to fix, repair, or take something apart might be important. This pry tool right here is, how are you going to get inside something? What if you had to get into a wall locker? What if you had to get into that vending machine? What if you had to get into a variety of things, a building, something? Well, this smaller pry tool has the ability to pry, break open, you're able to pull boards out with it. So kind of keep in mind that having something like this, while it adds a little bit of weight to it, it's maybe something that you could consider having just in case you needed it. So I'm going to put all this back together on my own so you don't have to watch that. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate what we've been getting so far. It's been really good. I know the channel just went out for the knife winner. We're going to have, what I'm going to try to have is, since it was kind of sloppy in my opinion on how I did it, I'm going to have a giveaway at 250. I'll work on what we got going. So anyways, thank you guys for subscribing and liking. Hit the bell notification, and this is Raven Tactical signing off.